Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to Namespace Manny, and today we're covering another Python data type, dictionary. So this video will be broken down into three sections. First section, what is a Python dictionary? The second section, how to create a Python dictionary. And the third section, how to use a Python dictionary and why it matters. So let's start off with the concept of a Python dictionary. So imagine you have a container, like a traditional dictionary, that has words and their meanings. But in Python, those words and meanings turn into data types, strings, integers, tuples, lists, whatever it may be. And the main function of a dictionary is to hold those key value pairs. So just like in a dictionary, the words become the keys and the definitions or the meanings become the values. But the only difference is that you get to create these dictionaries. And it's really just that simple. Key value pairs. All right, let's talk about creating Python dictionaries. I have a file here that shows you the two methods of creating a Python dictionary and how to access the data inside of those dictionaries. So let's start off with the first method. The first method is pretty simple. It's like you're declaring a variable. So here we have car1 equals dict. That's D-I-C-T, and that's the keyword for dictionary. And inside of the parentheses, you place the key value pairs, just like in line number 4. In this case, for car1, I have the brand, the model, and the year. And the way you declare those key value pairs, it's the same way you would declare a variable. For example, brand equals Ford, Ford being a string. Model equals Mustang, Mustang being a string, and year being 2007, 2007 being an integer. And it's really that simple. You have your key and your value, your key and your value, your key and your value. I'm going to keep repeating this over and over throughout the video because it's the most important thing to take away. In the second method, you won't use a keyword, but you'll use curly braces. It's the same idea except with a few nuances. First, the key is a string or an integer or a tuple, preferably a string. And instead of an equal sign, it'll be the colon. So the major differences, the curly braces, the keys are data types, and the equal sign has become a colon. And even here in line number 9, as you can see, the keys are integers, and that's okay. But I still have the same values. And another example in line 10, the key is array, and the value is another data type, list. So it doesn't have to be one single data type like integer or string. It can be a set of values in the form of a list or a tuple. All right, so how do we access this data? It's really simple. And you know earlier how I said it's preferable to use a string for the key? This is the reason. Here in line 12 through 16, you would put the variable name, car1, just like we did up top. And in brackets, you would put the key itself. So in our case, brand. And with that, you would output Ford. And if you use model, you would output Mustang. And if you use 2, you would output 2007. But where does this 2007 come from? Well, if we look at car 2, the key we used was 2. Therefore, 2 will output 2007. It's not an index, it's a key. So you have to watch out for that. Because I know Python lists use index to access their values, and dictionaries use their keys to access the values in kind of the same manner. All right, so let's print these things out. Let's see what happens. Python app.py. Look at that, just like I said. Ford, Mustang, 2007, 56789. Perfect. And that's how you create dictionaries. All right, and the last thing, what's a practical way to use a Python dictionary? Well, one of those ways is storing data, just like I have here. I've created a dictionary storing anime characters, and each one having 3 different attributes, and each of those attributes have values. So let's start off with the 4 main keys. Naruto Uzumaki, Eren Yeager, Izuku Midoriya, and Tanjiro. And everyone loves anime, so I had to do it. And each character has another dictionary nested inside of that dictionary. For example, we have series, abilities, and affiliation. Those are the keys to the value of the key Naruto. And then when each of those keys have their own values, for example, affiliation, Hidden Leaf Village, Clone Jutsu, and series Naruto. And each character has the same set of attributes and their corresponding values. Okay, so let's work with this data. Let's say I want to access some values. I would use the variable name, anime characters, and then the key, Naruto Uzumaki, and then the nested key within that, abilities. And what would that output? It would output the list of abilities that that character has. Same thing for Eren Yeager, but in this case, we're using affiliation, and that would come out to serve a corpse. Is it corpse or is it core? think it's core. Anyways, and then the next thing, let's say we want to add a character to this dictionary. So instead of hard coding it in here, you can actually create a new key within the dictionary. Again, you grab the variable, and with brackets, you put in the new character, in our case, like Yagami, and then equals the dictionary that you want to place in there. Series, abilities, and affiliation, and their values. Same as we had earlier. Let's say we want to modify one of these characters. Well, first, you grab the variable, and then the key, and then the key within that, and then the value at the end. In our case, we want to, let's say, append shoot style to the list inside of abilities for the character Izuku Midoriya. Let's go back up here. Let's just double check here. It's a list containing one element, and we're about to add a second element. Okay, now let's say we want to delete a character. Simple. You grab the keyword del for delete, the variable, and then the key for that character, and that will delete it without having to actually hard code anything inside of the dictionary that you originally made. Next thing, let's see if we want to check if there's a character within the list. Well, you can use a simple if statement, grabbing, let's say, Monkey D. Luffy, and seeing if it's inside the dictionary anime characters. If it is, I'll say character already exists, and if it doesn't, I'll say character doesn't exist. All right, let's run this here. Let me clear this out. Python app1.py. Look at that. That's exactly what we wanted. Let's go up here. We wanted to print the abilities of Naruto Uzumaki. There's the list. We wanted the affiliation of Eren Yeager, survey core. And last thing, we wanted to check if Monkey D. Luffy was already inside of the dictionary anime characters. And it seems that he's not. And there you have it. If you know any other ways to use dictionaries, let me know in the comments below. Till next time.